Hey guys, Ted Bogert here. Welcome back. We are with Kevin Roller, our lead at the Roller Mortgage team at Leader One. Excited to have him back. I'm excited to be back and talk about mortgages with you all. This is our weekly show, Real Estate Success Through Progressive Lending. And Kevin Roller is with us. Good morning, Kevin. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Ted. How are you doing? I know you were out last week.
I
Are you on
was,
the mend? Are
yeah.
you doing all right?
Woo, this is my first full day with back-to-back meetings, so let's see how I'm holding up around 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. But
Good to see your face. You look great, man. I'm
thank
very,
you, thank
very glad
you,
to have you back.
thank you, and I appreciate you holding down the fort like you do. The whole team has been amazing. Took all of my job and their job, and so I'm very thankful for that. It was took a big load off my mind during all of that insanity. But I'm glad to be back, and there's so much going on in the world. So tell them just again, maybe people who are tuning in for the first time, who you are, and let's take a deep dive.
Yeah, some things did change. While you were gone, rates have dropped in ahead of the expectation of the Fed. So I'm Kevin Roller, Leader One Financial, Senior Vice President of Production. And a lot of the buzz right now is what's going on with interest rates. So interest rates have dropped substantially. So they drop ahead of the Fed cutting the rates because the bond market anticipates what's going to happen. They don't really react as much as they do anticipate. So now if something were to happen, they would react to it, but they're baking in what they think will happen. So if the Fed comes out and says they're going to cut rates by a quarter, we may actually say interest rates rise. Now, the media is still going to say they're lower, and they will be. I mean, we've seen rates in the fives, which we haven't seen in, I don't know, 18 months, easy. It's the lowest rates we've seen in almost 2 years. The bond market's done phenomenal. It's around 101.5, just hovering there. Love to see it go to 101 or 102. But if the Fed comes out and does a half a point cut, we may see rates stay where they're at right now. Because again, the bond market's kind of already baked that in. I doubt they come out and say anything higher. It's not even on the table, really. But if they came out and did 75 basis points, you'd see rates drop substantially. That'd be great for everybody.
Yeah.
One thing that happens when rates drop, for every 1% the rates drop, and let's say they've dropped almost 2 points now. I mean, really, if you can get 5.75 and it was 7.75, that's a 2-point drop. 1 million new homeowners enter the marketplace for every $1 million, for every 1% the rate drops. So as this hits the media, as the media is putting it out there, and they continue to put it out there for the next, because they're kind of behind the 8 ball, right? They're going to start talking about the rates dropping, and they've already dropped, right? And as that filters down to the clientele, you'll see more home buyers enter the marketplace, and that's going to put pressure on house prices. So in a typically kind of why would you say, we have, in the Midwest, home sales drop off substantially during the winter. In Florida, they probably kind of become lackluster during the winter, right? So I think what we'll see is a better than normal winter as this goes out, as the rates kind of filter down to the average person that's not in the industry, right? So I would say anybody that's in your database right now, that's as a realtor, if they're looking to buy, they need to buy right now. This is the best time they're going to see, because they may see rates drop a little more. We hope they do. But the problem is as the rates drop and 1 million more people enter the marketplace, it's going to put upward pressure on the buy side, right?
That's right.
And we can't outrun the appreciation with interest rates. You just can't. So this winter is going to be maybe the best time to buy for maybe the next 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah, because we're kind of at a low point, right? Your market took a hit. Our market kind of took a hit. As rates come down, that hit's going to reverse, and we might not see it come back. This may be the lowest price you'll see for the next 5 years, right? Until there's another correction at some point.
Yes.
So, and then also, I wanted to touch on, if you're okay with it.
Please.
Okay, so last month we had about 10 different people reach out to us. It was probably a little more than that. We were able to help about 10 different people that were turned down somewhere else in the middle of their transaction.
In the middle?
in the middle. A lot of times it happens like a week before closing, a week and a half before closing, and then they call us up and they're like, "Hey, can you take a look at this client?" Right? And not always, but often we can help when somebody else couldn't. Sometimes I look at them like, this guy should have never been pre-approved. I'm sorry, right? Whoever sent you that probably shouldn't have. But sometimes it's like, actually, they do qualify.
Yes.
We just need to get a little creative, think outside the box a little, right? Sometimes it's just a guideline, and sometimes it's an overlay. So let's talk about like what that looks like. I had a client that was VA that got turned down with another lender. That's one specific client, and he came to us on Friday, and we had him fully approved on Wednesday. Now, we couldn't close because of TRID. TRID did not allow us to close the following day. We had to wait until the following Monday to close because of TRID. But this guy was turned down somewhere else, and we were able to approve him because it was a full file, right? Our underwriting turn time is 24 hours. You give me all the information you gave to the other lender. I'll leave out what I don't want my underwriter to see. I'll send the file in. The appraisal got transferred over. The title work got transferred over. It was a full file. So they gave it to me on Friday. I disclosed. I ordered out on Monday, got everything back in on Tuesday, sent the file to the underwriter. It was fully approved on Wednesday. So it went from a turn down, everything's like my dreams are crushed, to fully approved 4 business days later.
That's unbelievable.
That's the best story of the 10 from last month.
But still, there's 10. I think what people are experiencing is they don't know where to go, or their lender or whomever has convinced them we're the person of last resort, when in reality that may not be true. And so, with all of the things that we offer with the no overlays and the way that we do our files, soft credit pull, all of that stuff that we do, we combine. You can take a look at a file right away and see if it's doable. That's amazing. That must make you feel, I know you, so that must make you feel really good to be able to make that family happy.
It is awesome. So, and it's just, again, it's thinking outside the box. On this one, it was really just the tax return. And it was making a little change on how they were calculating the income. So
I love it. Yeah. And I want you, all our realtors, I just posted about this morning, because this is Wednesday, by the way. And I had to say it out loud so I know what day we are on. But I just posted about that this morning, and I had somebody message me and go, "Come on, Ted, for real? Do you really, if I have somebody who's been turned down, you really want to look at it?" And I said, "I absolutely do. I have no idea what that other lender's programs are, what their limitations or restrictions or boundaries are. Why not let us take a look at it?" It's really a win-win, because we do the soft credit pull. We don't have the overlays. You take a look at the file and really are solution-based. I tell everybody that who will listen to me that Kevin is the most solution-based person I've ever met, trying to figure out a way to get the deal done if it can be done. And so I encourage you to send me the stuff that you're in the middle of, or preferably the beginning. I'd love your beginning stuff. Let's talk about that. But in general, if you've got a turn down, or you have a client who's on the fence because they got to turn down, let us take a look at it. There is no reason why we shouldn't be able to look at it and tell you what we can do and what their purchasing power is.
Yeah. So another reason would be somebody, this true story from last month, somebody got their tax returns in and the lender turned them down. And so, first of all, if you're self-employed, a lot of times people tell us what they make a year, and it's the top line on their tax return. Yeah. So it's like, I made $1 million last year, but that's gross sales or gross receipts. And so if you're a loan officer, you should ask for the tax return so you can accurately calculate the income, right? Because it may be $1 million minus $800,000 in cost of goods sold or whatever, right? And you've got $200,000 left over. Well, if you tell me $1 million and I qualify you for a $3 million home because I didn't look at the tax returns, that's shame on me. So every loan officer, I will not send a pre-approval out on a self-employed borrower without looking at tax returns. But not all loan officers are created equally. And so in this specific case, the tax return did not justify the income needed to purchase a home. It just didn't. Now, their top line was more than $1 million. Their top line had more than enough income to qualify. But what they wrote off so that they didn't pay taxes was a lot. And so they didn't qualify based off their taxable income, which is what a conventional loan uses. You can add some things back into the taxable income, like depreciations, mileage, different things. But it wasn't enough. So we just simply said, can you do me a favor and send me your last 12 months bank statements? More than enough deposits, right?
Amazing.
Now that client qualified, and we're able to close that transaction. So it's really about getting creative, thinking outside the box. Another one from
it's mindset, right? It's you're looking for solutions rather than for ways to turn the business down. My experience is that a lot of LOs, if it feels like it's getting a little bit tough, they'd rather move on to something else instead of look for the solution. And I feel like that is such a big deal. 2
of the people I saved last month they didn't have enough income, similar stories, not self-employed necessarily, but just the income was calculated wrong on the front end. So the loan officer just didn't calculate it correctly, or probably didn't even ask for, documentation. And so when I got the file, I'm like, yeah, there isn't enough income here, but do you have any assets? On 2 of the different stories they did, they had millions of dollars in savings, retirement, 401k, different accounts. And we're able to take that and count it as income. A lot of lenders can't. On a conventional file, we'll just take it and we divide it by 240 months. So if you have, $24 million divided by 240, we're going to say you make $240,000 a month in income, right? Even if you don't, right? So whatever that number is, we'll divide it by 240 and add it to the income. So that was a way we were able to save a couple. So it's just, again, it's looking at the client holistically and finding a way to help them, because most of them do actually qualify. It's just having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
So
it's awesome. Lots of great information today on our show. I appreciate you, Kevin, so much. Y'all give us a shot. I think that you are going to be incredibly happy. If you've got anybody who needs to be saved, send us our way. We'd love to be the Hail Mary and see what we can do. Look, I threw a little football term in there. That's pretty good for me, foosball. But I'm just excited about the fact that we do that, and the way that we approach business is so different to me, and the solution-based is so important. You all, if you have questions, you can reach out to me, 407-810-5670. Kevin's absolutely amazing. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for all you did for me last week and all you do for me every single day, Kevin. I appreciate it. We really have a fantastic, amazing team that I'm excited to get up every morning and work with and work for. So thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week. If you have questions, you know how to reach me. Kevin, thanks, my friend.
Have a good day, guys.
See you guys soon.